Safety is top of mind for the public, which brings us to Meta. The social media giant agreeing to settle the landmark federal trial where it faced accusations of child harm. A lawsuit supported by 29 states. A judge approving the settlement tonight. Meta has agreed to pay $17 billion, as well as implement sweeping changes to its platforms, including age verification, usage limits, data collection limits, and nighttime restrictions for minors.
But it's not doing much so far to ease public sentiment about social media's struggle season, because
they didn't agree voluntarily out of the goodness of their heart. We had a trial where we were hammering them. We had a litigation and a trial verdict hanging over their head, which was not going well for them.
For more, let's bring in the Kentucky Attorney General, one of the 4 states that led this case, Russell Coleman. Attorney General, thanks for being with us tonight to answer some questions about the settlement. Let me start with the changes that Meta has to make, okay? So it has to do with time limits, mandatory breaks. You can't do any social media scrolling between midnight and 6 a.m. Do those changes get to the real heart of the matter when it comes to the harm that's been alleged against the young people who have used this platform?
Those changes are significant. Let's dig in a little more to what those are. A period of time to let our kids sleep. I speak to this as an AG and as a parent. It's a period of time where our kids can sleep at night. For the first time ever, a limitation on doom scrolling. And even within that 120-minute limitation, interruptions to force kids to look up, encourage kids to go out and engage, to live. A limitation that doesn't allow those kind of push notifications through the school day, constantly disturbing our kids. If you talk to any teacher, they bemoan the ability that they have to fight the phone when they're trying to teach kids. And something I didn't know an awful lot about until recently, and these terrible screens, these cosmetic filters, prohibiting those as well. This is a big deal that's going to impact positively a generation of our kids.
Attorney General, before we talk about the money, what you just went through, though, how is a lot of that, if not all of it, first and foremost the parent's responsibility, like making sure your kid doesn't have a phone at night?
I tell you what, parents are both the first and the last line of defense, but what this does is empowers parents. Parents have been fighting the technology. It's been as if, as a parent, this technology is on the other side of the V, and parents have been losing. Certainly, parents are the last line of defense, but parents have been outgunned. And what this is empowering parents finally that the technology is not working against us.
Attorney General, in your statement that you put out about this $17 billion settlement, you, among so many, referenced the big tobacco settlements of the 1990s. The master settlement agreement with big tobacco, paltry little of that money, more than $300 billion adjusted for inflation, went for actual smoking cessation. About 3% was spent by the states to help people stop smoking, fight smoking. It went for plug-in budget holes, debt service on securitized bonds, literally everything else. So how will you spend this money?
Well, that's not my call. It's the decision of our legislature. And I was in middle school during the tobacco settlement. That is great precedent. I would also add opioids to that list of accomplishments of attorneys general in showing up and protecting our states. We're using opioid settlement money to save lives, to prevent harm. And so opioids may be a better exemplar than tobacco, but our General Assemblies, our legislature, and in Kentucky, we're talking $350 million that our legislature will use how they choose. I've had conversations this morning with legislative leaders. At the end of the day, it's their call, but I'm confident that they'll be good stewards of this money.
We got a lot of skepticism on our end about legislators being good stewards of money. They're usually not good stewards of money, but I'll set that aside for a second because you mentioned that you're a parent, so am I. And so I try to interpret, how do I think about what's happened here in terms of the changes? Should I feel more comfortable about my kids being on Instagram or Meta platforms as a result of this settlement? I have my doubts, let's put it that way, that the big tech folks have, all of a sudden grown a heart and want to help my kids. As a parent and attorney general, what's your message to parents about how to interpret this settlement?
Well, my message is now not encouraging kids to use the technology. My skepticism remains the same. I'm not a Luddite. We're not Luddites here. There is a role for technology, but there's a reason that I'm also suing on behalf of this Commonwealth a number of other platforms that we're going after TikTok as an addiction machine. We're going after Roblox, which is a platform, really a playground for predators. We're going after Character AI because of its narcissistic impact on hurting our kids. I'm not sitting here waving a flag for technology. What I'm sitting here saying is our kids will be safer now because of these actions, and parents still need to be diligent about being that last line of defense for our kids. We are in a somewhat of a safer age now because of great work by fantastic public servants that I've had a chance to serve with here. And let me just say this, kids should be about going out and skinning their knees and experiencing life. They shouldn't be measuring their childhood by likes and dislikes. And we have lived through, over the last 10 years, an era where likes and dislikes have determined our kids' mental health. And that is wrong. And we are working very hard to change that, as you have seen in this announcement today.
Well, Attorney General, they're still going to have these in their hands, and the bullying doesn't stop, and the threat doesn't stop, so that falls on the family. Attorney General Russell Coleman, thank you so much.
Thank you.